Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Sports. And Rassie Erasmus has officially completed his list of players that have been invited in the Springbok alignment camps with the announcement of a virtual alignment camp, which will take place for all overseas-based players, for apparently young players, as well as currently injured players. And basically what's going to happen is the exact same presentations that were going to be presented to the incoming players, the 56 group that is going to assemble in Cape Town. They will then be presenting those presentations later in the month when a virtual alignment camp takes place on Wednesday, the 27th of March. And basically, this kind of confirms your your Springbok group really moving forward. If you're not part of the current group now, then I think it's going to be tough to sort of break in. Obviously, not impossible, but it does sort of confirm exactly who the player group that the Rassie Erasmus coach staff want to look to use. And it's a player group of over 80 players. So I think it's 82 officially. So it's one of those things, if you're not part of an 82 group, the chance of you finding your way into a 23 becomes very unlikely. But it gives us a nice indication of what they're looking at, as well as players who are on the radar in and around the world. And very interesting to see, for example, like a Marnus van der Merwe, who continues to be on the radar, playing his rugby now for Scarlets full time, and continues to be on the radar, as well as a big call-up for Jonathan Roach, who is only played about 2 or 3 games for the Stormers this season, but has already been noticed by the coaching staff. So before we look at the squad, please do smash the like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Let's have a look at the squad, shall we? And there it is over there. Right, so players invited to the virtual alignment camps in alphabetical order are as follows. Kurt Lawrence now open in Japan. Damien Delende. Big news is the return of Lood de Jager, who finds himself back in a Bok alignment camp after basically missing an entire season. He's been on, 2 seasons actually, really. You haven't seen him in a Bok jersey in a number of years since that early heart condition back in August 2023. Faf de Klerk, a lot of people are asking if he's dropped off the radar while he's still going to be involved in the alignment camps, as are both Dupree brothers, who always seem to be close to a Bok squad, but actually never really seem to get onto the field, unfortunately for them. Peter Steph de Toy, Thomas de Toy, Nicholas Jats van Rensburg still on the radar. Hershey Yankees gets a call up, as well as Jean Klein, Chesn Colby, Jason Creel, Ulrich Lowe. Very long-term injury, but very interesting to see that he's still being included, and obviously seems to be very big, core part of the plans for moving forward. Trevor Nyakani, who picked up an injury over the weekend, will join the virtual one as opposed to the physical one. Malcolm Marks, Sia Masuku, that's a very interesting one. He was one of the two of the 5 players I mentioned were interesting that they didn't get the call-up initially. So maybe things have happened that they've changed their mind, or maybe they simply just forgot. You kind of wonder why he can't go over. He's not injured at the moment. So Sia Masuku is on the list, as is Franco Master, Andre Pollard, Kubus Ranak, Jonathan Roche, Quagga Smith, Archie Snyman, Nico Steyn, also another player who I think should have been part of the original list anyway. Marnus van der Merwe and Jasper Wiese. So there we have it. Those are your 82 players who will basically the box that play this year. My guess will come from the 82 players. I think very unlikely that players from now will be able to put themselves into the mix, be able to play themselves into a squad and into a 23 itself. So unfortunately, for example, like a Tyron Green, who's not been called up, a Joan Augustus, overseas players who have been playing very well, Bernard Janssen from Rensburg, who may be hoping on getting a Bok call-up, doesn't look like it's particularly like you right now, given the fact that they've now been left out of a group of 82 players. Not impossible, but I think, if you were thinking about potentially making a switch to another nation, you'd probably look at this scenario and these alignment camps and say, well, maybe it's now time I need to start being realistic and just say I'm not on the current Bok staff radar. Because I think 99.9% of the squad we take in 2027 will likely come out of this alignment group. That is kind of the point. They're going to have a presentation talking about how the squad's going to be used in the next 2 years, building up to the World Cup, what you've got to do to get yourself into the World Cup mix, what you've got to do is try and get yourself into a team, for example, what your role is within the squad. And if you're not part of this now, it becomes very difficult to join at a later stage, because you have to find that alignment and understand exactly how the structures work, the game plan works. And that's kind of the whole point of this current coaching staff, is that they plan very far in advance and then kind of bring people along the way so that everyone is on the same page, and there can be nobody can ever claim that they don't really know what's going on when it gets to the day itself. What do you think of the extra players added to the squad? Who do you think is likely to be there? Who would you add to it as well? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.